Stand by. Yeah, yeah, please sit. Wow. Bitey? Okay. Half a day and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members to the United States Coast Guard. Before I even want to start, I want to say many of God's blessings to all of you and say, Biba Coast Guard. You know, I want to first apologize on behalf of the 37th Guam legislature. We got called into emergency session at 11 o'clock, and we really thought, or we had hoped, that this resolution will be able to be air lived and that we would be already finished with the emergency session, but that's not quite the case. We are in there for going to be quite a long time or a long day, but I wanted to make sure that this got recorded. So I literally want to thank the staff of the legislature because this will be recorded and then it will be aired later on. I wanted to make sure that the United States Coast Guard got its fair accolades for all the work that they do. And Captain Simmons, as I see your men and women in uniform, again, I'm in awe, and I'm going to put her on the spot. You know, my rear daughter, my adopted daughter's here, and always a blessing to see her, whether it be work or whether it be at a family function. Always making sure that the Coast Guard is given its best first-class service. So, thank you to my daughter Rose. Today, we are here to recognize the 233rd year anniversary of the United States Coast Guard with resolution number 167-37 LS. Joining me, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon is Legislative Secretary Amanda Shelton, and of course our money man, Chair of OFB, Senator Joe San Augustine. Yeah, he's the guy you really need to know too. The three of us. So, this resolution, ladies and gentlemen, was introduced, of course, by myself, Secretary Senator Amanda Shelton, Senator Joe San Augustine, Senator Roy Kanata, Senator Dwayne San Nicolas, Senator Will Parkinson, Senator Jesse Lahan, and the senators of the 37th Guam legislature. It is relative to recognizing and congratulating the men and women of the United States Coast Guard on the celebration of the United States Guard's 233rd year anniversary on August 4, 2023, and commending the United States Coast Guard and its dedicated members, active, reserve, auxiliary, civilian, retired, and family for their continued service to our island and country. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that here in this blue continent, we are connected together through our oceans and waterways. We know how privileged we are to call the ocean our home, but we also know that the strength of our ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard has been there to aid of our islands during difficult times, during typhoons, and even search and rescue efforts. We are honored to recognize all those who continue to make our island and our region safe. So, with that, we extend our undunkulu nasitus mas and commend the U.S. Coast Guard and its dedicated members, active, reserve, and auxiliary, civilian, retired, and family for their continued service to our island and country. And before I say my Situs Masis and ask my colleagues to do the official presentation to you, Captain, and to your team, I want to say with a lot of heart, as I do have some family members in the Coast Guard and those that have retired, there has not been a captain that has been with the U.S. Coast Guard that I've worked in the last 2 decades that has been extremely open, outright, supportive, and accommodating to our island of Guam and to all our island nations surrounding our blue continent. And you know that whenever there is need of help, assistance to the islands, to our brothers and sisters in FSM, CNMI, RMI, Palau. You guys are there. You guys take care of our waters. You guys take care and support our team. And you guys protect our beautiful ocean. So, undunkulu nasitos masi. And I'd be remiss, usually the secretary reads everything, but in the interest of time, I'm going to beg your indulgence and just ask her to do the official presentation to you, Cap, because I think they're going to need our votes on the other side. But I thought it was important to honor this day. I know that you have a big party celebration this Friday. I'm going to make it a point to be there. If I'm late, I will make it a point to get there as fast as I can. But the celebration is indeed an honor because you do all the work to protect our island and our country. So with that being said, I yield my time to Legislative Secretary to make the official presentation as we and Senator San Augustine, as we continue to share in the efforts when our colleagues are here, is to give them that honor to join me in this blessing. So captains, whoever else you want up here, we'll take an official photo after the speeches, and then we'll have everybody.
Serving as our command chief for a while.
I'll stand next to you since I'm short.
You're not short. You're exactly as tall as the Lord made you.
Okay. Be it resolved that Iminai Trentasheti na Legislaturan Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize and congratulate the men and women of the United States Coast Guard on the celebration of the U.S. Coast Guard's 233rd year anniversary on August 4, 2023, and commend the U.S. Coast Guard and its dedicated members, active, reserve, auxiliary, civilian, retired, and family for their continued service to our island and our country. And be it further resolved that the Speaker certify, the Legislative Secretary attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be transmitted to Captain R. Simmons, Commander, U.S. Coast Guard Forces, Micronesia Sector, Guam, and to the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero y Magahagan Guahan, duly and regularly adopted by Iminay Trentasheti na Legislaturan Guahan on the 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the Speaker and myself. Siduat Masi, and congratulations.
Only fitting now that we yield the mic to the Cap to say a few words and just speak to our people of Guam and everyone around the world.
There's a couple people who know never to give me a microphone because I like to talk, but Madam Vice Speaker, Senators Shelton and St. Augustine, thank you so much for doing this. This is the third time we've been honored to be here for a legislative proclamation from the legislature this year. The last time was to recognize an individual, a son of CNMI, for his service here on Guam and around the region, Freddie, and then before that it was for you to hand over a thur woven by the women of Ulithi over 10 years ago to recognize the service of the Coast Guard to the region. So I would say it's an honor to be here once again. Thank you. It's just, you said it's an honor to have us here. It's a pleasure for myself and for those in front of me to serve the folks here across the region. And it's a testament to our relationship and our friendship that y'all went out of an emergency session on something very important, which is education, to come over here and spend a few minutes with us. So thank you so much for that. And I just want to say, ma'am, I was in Pohnpei last week, and I thought a lot about you because of your close relationship with the folks of FSM. And across this region. So I thought a lot about you while I was there and was really looking forward to this. And thank you for all your support for the service for Coast Guard Week. And I'll tell you, we have another former Guam service member here, Commander Dana Hyatt. Will you stand up, Dana? So Dana relieved me on Washington 13 years ago and just came back to be the new base commander here. So it's not just the locals and the folks who are here, the Bustoses and the Mendiolas and the Uggins and the San Nicolases and the Leon Guerreros and the Hofschneiders. It's everybody. Once you serve on Guam, you always have a connection to this place, and you always want to do what's best for it. So it's not about the Coast Guard. It's not about serving for ourselves. It's about serving for our community, for your community, and for the community across the region. So thank you. I screw that up every time. And thank you for recording it. It's just an honor to do that. So I don't have anything else to share, but thank you. Thank you all for serving, for being here today, and for everything you do for your nation and for your region and for the Coast Guard. Biba Coast Guard.
And at this time, I would be remiss if I didn't call the family of the Coast Guard up here to please join us in an official photo celebrating your 233 years. Please join me up here. Thank you.
Here and back.